Welcome to Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio. Lisa is a writer, producer, and innovative communicator with more than 20 years of experience. Join us as we connect you with inspiring experts and entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Your comments and questions are welcome during the broadcast. Call us live on the air at 404-355-8699. That's 404-355-8699. Now, here's Lisa Faulkner.
Hello, everybody, and thank you again for listening to Game Changers with me, Lisa Faulkner. I am so excited today. I guess you say I'm so excited every day, every week. I have all of these great people to continue to visit me and bring us great information to change the game and get us to the next level. So I am excited about my guest in the studio with me today, Lori Mans. I told you that Lori was coming in. Lori, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Lori before we get started with her. And you probably have heard of her if you're local to the Atlanta area. She's been around here a while. She is a local businesswoman and media consultant of Quality Media Consultants. She asks important questions when helping her clients with their cash flow, which is what most clients and businesses are interested in learning, advancing to the next level in, their cash flow. Lori asks, do you struggle to get a steady flow of clients? Do you wish you could generate more steady leads? Are you tired of feeling like the best kept secret in your industry? Lots of great information and resources from Lori we're going to hear about in our first half hour today. So without any further delay, I'm going to let Lori say hello to you all.
Hello, everybody. I am so happy to be here.
Thank you, Lori. I am happy you're here as well. Thank you for taking time out with us today.
Absolutely.
Well, let's just dive in, Lori, and get started. Tell the people a little bit more about your background and where you hail from, or how you began the Quality Media Group. Or I know that you were with the CBS group before, in the Cox Group, as an account executive. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, just tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I am a former radio chick. I spent 20 years in radio marketing here in Atlanta and also in Tennessee. I started out in Nashville working for a CHR contemporary hit radio station, and that began a almost 20-year career in radio sales.
Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. And
that's quite a business. That takes a lot of energy, a lot of know-how, I did it for 1 year. That's why I'm saying that. It takes a lot of finesse and organization and knowing a lot of people. Tell us about some of your successes or what you took away from that 20-year career.
Well, the biggest thing was I called on corporate clients as well as small business clients. Mm-hmm. So the Fortune 500 clients as well as the mom and pops who were entrepreneurs and just trying to start a business because they did not want to be in corporate America.
Yes.
And I always had a passion for people who were brave enough to start their own businesses and attempt at the American dream.
That does take bravery.
Yeah, and courage, and a lot of know-how. So it was always a passion of mine to help them navigate the world of entrepreneurship by learning and mastering marketing and sales techniques so that they could grow their business from year to year.
Excellent. That's a lot of good experience working with those small businesses. Yes. And that was a perfect and enriched area, I'm sure, that you help them with in the marketing and sales. Tell us a little bit more about what you took away from that time in corporate America for CBS and Cox. What were some of your successes? So what did you glean from that time, if you will?
Well, I think one of the biggest things I gleaned from my corporate career was always be prepared and always have your best foot forward when you are in any situation. Do your best. And you can't really think about that glass ceiling that exists in corporate America. Mm-hmm. You just have to always do your best and be prepared and just strive to always let excellence be your choice of how you get things done.
That's good.
And I think when people focus on getting promoted, or they focus on who they're working for. Sometimes it prohibits us from doing the best job we can.
That's true.
But if we just focus on day to day, this is going to be what I do just because I want to focus on excellence in my life and I want to be the best person that I can be in this position or whatever, then you tend not to, focus so much on what's around you, but you also will just put the energy out there for things to come to you.
That's excellent.
So
I understand why you're the businesswoman that you are, with so much know-how, following those principles and that way of doing things, because it's so true. It reminds me of one of my life lessons from my mother. She said, Lisa, get ready, even if you don't have a chance to go.
I know, that's right.
So it's be prepared. For me, that says be prepared at all times. Be ready for that opportunity when it presents itself.
Yeah.
And walk in excellence. Do all things with a standard of excellence. So that's very good. That's excellent, Lori. Tell us, now you were going to just get right to it today and tell us about some serious mistakes that business owners and some of those people that you talked about, the small businesses as well as the large businesses, I think, kind of make some of the same marketing mistakes. But before we talk about that, tell me a little bit about your niche marketing, if you will, if I may use that term. And I just mean marketing has come such a long way from the traditional marketing. There's integrated marketing is a style of marketing, in my opinion, but there's cause marketing, there's strategic marketing, so many different types of marketing. What would you say is your brand of marketing that you bring to the table?
Well, I think that marketing is such a broad term, and a lot of people assign different meanings to it because it encompasses so much. Your brand, it encompasses what you bring to the table in terms of your delivery for your customers and how you get that message out there. So basically, I don't niche myself or box myself in because marketing is, for me and what I teach, universal. Because marketing is about presenting yourself and your services in a way that makes your ideal clients attracted to you.
That's good. That is exactly right. I always say we can market or advertise, if you will, as much as we want, but people really pay attention when they have a need.
Exactly.
That's when the advertising or the marketing really makes a difference.
Absolutely.
So how do you position your clients to make certain that those people get their message when they need it?
Well, I tell my clients that marketing, my simple definition is providing value and solutions to people in the marketplace who are looking for what you have to offer. And so when your clients are looking for what you have to offer, your job is to make sure that your message gets to them and communicates to them target on in terms of what they need and what they're looking for.
Excellent.
So that means you have to understand your target audience and you have to understand what they will respond to.
That's right.
So if you understand that, then you can talk to them in the language and in the manner in which they want to be spoken to.
That's excellent. And you are talking around some very strategic areas, Lori. You're talking customization. You're talking about customize your message and your offering for that particular client, for that particular audience, for that particular target that you're going after.
So if I had to actually niche myself, I would say I really focus on strategic marketing that is magnetic and compelling.
That's good.
And of course, with that, we do a lot of integration and determining what's going to work for the client, what's going to work for their particular business, and also, if they're a small business, their personality style.
That's right.
Because not every advertising medium and not every type of marketing works for everyone.
That is true. And I think that term integration gets used as loosely as marketing these days.
It does.
It's like,
it does.
Can we just retire integration, please?
Right.
Or tell me what you're talking about exactly. Because for me, integration, it can be, like you just described, it can be different types of integration. It can be across all channels of different advertising and marketing. And it could be just a small funnel integration,
Right.
just what you need, yeah. And then, so we know all the different ways that can go. But let's talk about some of those mistakes that business owners and people make in marketing. You said many business owners and entrepreneurs find themselves stuck in the wilderness of marketing because they make one or more of the 7 biggest marketing mistakes you can make in business. Now, you said it, Lori. You said it.
I did.
So tell us what you mean.
And what I mean by that is when I talk to some of my clients, they actually are disturbed because they are overwhelmed and they are feeling exhausted and frustrated with not being able to get to their ideal clients and not being able to get enough clients in their business to satisfy their revenue goals. So I call it the wilderness of marketing because, as you said, marketing is such a broad term.
It is.
And people think that, if I have a Facebook page, I'm marketing. Or if I have Instagram, I'm marketing. And they are.
Well, I guess that's new marketing.
Yeah, well, okay. It's called new media.
Exactly.
So the new media marketing exists of social media, of course, but in order to be successful at your business and grow your revenue from year to year to year, you have to have an integrated marketing plan.
Yes.
Because it has to be comprised of more than just one thing.
That's right.
So one of the mistakes that I find...
I feel the wilderness coming on already. If you're doing one thing, you're probably just spinning around.
You're spinning around. And so in that wilderness, I call it the purgatory because it's like, somebody save me, somebody help me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of throwing things up against the wall, hoping that something will stick. And so one of the biggest mistakes that I find with some of my clients who are stuck not knowing what to do is that they try to serve everyone. So when not narrowing down and not getting specific as who you're supposed to be helping, who you're most gifted to serve,
that's right,
who your product or service best fits,
that's right,
that prohibits you from being able to speak to them in the language that they will understand and relate to.
That's good.
So you have to really focus on, okay, if I'm targeting women, you can't just say women.
That's right.
There's so many differences.
So many demos.
There's so many different demographics, or psychographics, geographics. There's all these different, all these different things that can classify women.
That's right.
Age, career, moms versus singles, it's just so much. And so you can't just broadly sweep the demographic and say, I'm targeting women. You have to tell us a little bit more about those women that you're trying to reach, because you can't communicate with a single mom the same way you communicate with a senior.
That's right.
Okay? There's 2 different types of women there, and they need to be taught to and spoken to in very different ways.
Exactly.
So
if you want them to get it.
Yes. If you want them to get it, and if you want them to respond, you definitely have to speak to them in the way that they're going to relate to.
That's all very good stuff, Lori. We're going to get ready to take a break. We are talking with Lori Manns of Quality Media Consultants. She's going to hang around with us for just a little while longer, so you all stay tuned and learn a little bit more about what she can offer you there. Thank you for listening to Game Changers. We'll be right back. Do you need someone with solid, expert communications experience to write your copy or your next press release? Then you need PenStar Communications. Let PenStar communicate your greatest potential with clear copy written for your business and marketing needs. Whether it's your next event or next campaign, PenStar Communications can write that for you. Visit penstar.org or call 404-828-0287 today.
You've seen the Total Gym on TV for years. Total Gym is the all-in-one fitness solution designed to help you reach your fitness goals quickly. Top celebrities like Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley rely on the Total Gym to keep in shape. And now you can try the Total Gym 30 days risk-free for just $49.95. $49.95. With the Total Gym, you can work out all major muscle groups, even cardio exercises with one machine, all in the comfort of your own home. And when you're done, you can fold the Total Gym up and slide it under your bed. Now you can get in the best shape of your life like Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley have with the Total Gym. Call now for your 30-day risk-free trial offer. Call now for free shipping.
800-291-2072, 800-291-2072, 800-291-2072, 800-291-2072.
This song's dedicated
to everyone.
Everyone who made it.
Yeah.
Through any test or trial.
Hopeless situation.
Hopeless situation. Now you have a story.
The angels can't sing.
Angels can't sing in glory.
You're redeemed.
You're redeemed from the hand of the enemy.
Yeah. Here we go.
Whether it's in the courtroom, fighting in the boardroom, trying to feed your family, or kicked out underneath you.
God's able.
God is more than able. He can turn the table.
So turn and tell.
Turn and tell your neighbor now it's time for you to
Yeah.
turn the favor.
Can I get a witness?
Can I get a
Just
witness?
be one more.
Be one more witness.
That God's still opening doors.
God's still working miracles, everybody. Thank you for listening today. We have Lori Manns with Quality Media Consultants with us today, and she is just speaking excellently and giving us great advice on marketing and some of the pitfalls that we want to avoid as business owners and entrepreneurs. Talk to us more, Lori, about some of the pitfalls we should avoid making or stepping into.
One of the other mistakes that some business owners make with their marketing is not properly identifying their ideal clients. Because many times, if you don't stop to learn everything there is to know about who you're most suited to serve, you will end up not giving them what they need. And you won't be in tune enough to know is there another product that I can create for them?
That's right.
Is there another service that I can offer them that I haven't already offered them? You know, so you have to learn what their needs are and everything about them. So, because again, you cannot communicate with new startup business owners the same way you would seasoned business owners.
That's right.
And you communicate with someone differently if they're making $100,000 or if someone is making multi-millions.
That's right.
So their challenges are going to be different, their needs are going to be different, and everything in terms of what they need from you as a business owner is going to be different.
Excellent. So, Lori, we start out with this broadcast, if you will, and we pull these people into our offering or our service, and then we start to break them out. I think I hear you saying we start to customize what we deliver to them, and most importantly, we add the value that they need.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about ways that business owners can do that.
Well, one of the ways that you can add value to your service offerings is to figure out, again, what your customers need. So whether it's you need to add a new guarantee or a money-back guarantee, or
That's
you
right.
need to add a bonus of X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is that your customers are going to respond to, basically you want to let them know that here's what we offer, here's what we bring to the table, and the value is that we stand behind our product, we stand behind our brand. And so you want to always give peace of mind, if you will, that if someone is not happy with what they have bought or what they have contracted with your company, that you will fix it. So the value comes in your clients understanding that whatever it is that you're offering, if it's a product or if it's a service, that they're going to get exactly what you say that you're going to deliver, and that they're going to be happy with it.
Yes. For me, that's the ultimate customer service.
Yes.
Do business owners find that really hard to navigate their way through? Does it just take too much time for them to break it down that strategically for their customers? Or is that where you come in? Is that your expertise, if you will?
Well, I absolutely help them if that's a challenge of theirs. But I find that the new business owners, people that are startup as well as, they've been in business for a couple of years, they really have a challenge with that.
Okay.
Existing business owners kind of come to that realization from trial and error.
That's right.
And experience teaching them like, I need to, step that up, or, we need to do this. Or, their staff is going to give them feedback. But one of the biggest things is to have some type of customer relationship management system where your people are going to be able to give you feedback on what it is that you do.
That's wonderful. That's exactly what they need.
Yes.
The old CRM, if you will.
Absolutely.
And what does that look like for you? You said some type, and that's varying ways they can do that. They can do that internally with just their regular IT, whatever group that is.
Of course, in the age of the internet, there are so many. If you wanted to have a customer relationship management system, there's Salesforce. There's so many different ones. That's one of the most popular ones. But there's so many different ways that you could integrate just even a policy within your own company. Like, here's how we do customer intake. Here's how we do customer satisfaction. Here's how we do if a customer has a problem with this or that. Whatever it is, you have to have your policies and procedures. And I don't care if you're $1 billion business or 100,000-aire.
That's right.
Or if you're just starting out.
I like that, 100,000-aire.
Yeah, or you're just starting out. You have to let people know this is the protocol.
Yes.
This is how we do business here, and this is what you can expect.
Excellent.
Because a lot of times people just want to know, well, what can I expect?
That's right.
Right?
A lot of times that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
So that's right. You can call us here and ask Lori any questions you want. If you are an aspiring business person or owner, you can reach us at 404-355-8699. But I want to switch gears just a little bit, Lori, if we may. I want to talk about something else that's near and dear to your heart that I recently learned about. You're the president of Live Healthy and Thrive Youth Foundation, and it's here in Atlanta.
Yes.
It's a nonprofit, and it's dedicated to fostering and promoting kids' health. Talk to us about ways that you do that, and it's so hard to keep kids healthy now, I think, and we're in the fast food era. I know that is the First Lady's agenda, or her what she has tried to do ever since she's been in office, which she's done a wonderful job.
Right.
But what are some ways that you promote healthy kids?
Well, I founded this organization, Live Healthy and Thrive Youth Foundation, in 2010, and our goal is to basically educate children on healthy lifestyles so they avoid obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. And we strive to have programs that engage children and excite them about learning good food, and that good food is easy to grow.
Yes.
And it's easy to prepare. And healthy food is better for you for long life.
Yes.
And we try to teach them well care, to take care of yourself while you're young, and and vibrant, so that when you get old, you don't have to worry about sick care
Yeah.
and Medicaid and whether or not it's going to be around when you get to be
That's right.
60 or 70.
That's a lot of people's concerns
Yes.
now. But you touched on some real operative words for kids, I think. I believe that you're engaging. You use the word engaged, and that's what is probably really making them get involved there when they have the hands-on experience. And you talked about growing food.
Yes.
So you show them how to really do these things. Is that right?
Yes, we have a program called Gardens Are for Kids, where we donate a garden to Atlanta Public Schools or
Wow.
DeKalb County Schools every year. So last year we picked Benteen Elementary School, which is an Atlanta Public School.
Okay.
And it's elementary, and we take a crew out there, a master gardener and volunteers, and we bring dirt and garden beds, and we bring fruits and vegetables.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm there getting my hands dirty, and
How much do they love that?
they love it so much. And every year, Home Depot partners with us, and we're just so grateful to have them as a partner on this program to be
bet.
able to provide. And we still need community donations, so because they don't cover everything. So we definitely give back in that way and make it an engaging program for the kids. They love it because they get to plant and they get to see their food grow right in front of their eyes.
Excellent. Now, what made you want to get involved with this for children? There's got to be a story behind it, Lauren.
Yeah, there always is a story.
There's always a story, and I'm always looking for the story.
Well, I will tell you this. Diabetes runs in my family.
Okay.
Hypertension runs in my family. And there have been scares in my family of people having diabetic attacks, diabetic comas, and people passing in my family from illnesses that in some cases they could have prevented. And it's a scary situation when you're looking at someone you love and they're deteriorating because
Yes.
of an illness or a disease that has just taken over their body. And I happened to go to my doctor one time and was told that I needed to do some things to change my diet unless I wanted to be a diabetic.
Wow.
And I decided, okay, I don't want to be a diabetic.
Exactly.
I want to change some things. And it's
Good for you.
It's a struggle every single day because I didn't start wanting sweets until I got older.
I wish I could say that. I wanted sweets all my life.
Oh my God, I didn't want them. I was a potato chip girl. I did not want anything sweet. I could care less about sweets until I got older.
But look at you getting ahead of the problem. That is
Trying
wonderful.
to.
That's
It's hard.
That's
But trying to motivate other people to do so,
Yes.
especially families and kids.
That's beautiful. That's how we change the game, people.
That's how we do it.
We take proactive steps and start a foundation. Not just help ourselves, but we help others as well. And we start at a level where it's really going to make a difference and where children can really understand that this needs to be a lifestyle. You know, my mother sent me to Weight Watchers when I was 14 years old, and I hated it then.
Wow.
I did not want to go. I thought I was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm fine.
Right.
And she's like, no, you're not, but we're going to fix that.
Right.
And she went with me, right
Yeah.
along with me every meeting. And I came home to bake fish in the oven, and the rest of my siblings had fried chicken.
Oh.
And I told her years later I threw that fish out while she was at work.
Oh my goodness.
But I love baked fish now. So I believe her starting me out that early on, I'm saying all this to say, taught me how to eat and live a more healthy lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
And to get in front of the problem, like you said before, because not every child has that problem. I mean, there's some parents that have one child who is obese or overweight and one child who is just fine.
That's right.
And you know, doesn't overeat.
Exactly.
And then you might have one child that's diabetic and one child that's not. And it just depends. You parent children the way they need to be parented. And
That's
you, as
right.
a parent, you definitely try to get out there and help your children to understand, here are the ways that you take care of your body. Here are the things that you need to do. So it's an education a lot of times for the parents as well as the children.
Good.
Because when I go to speak to schools in Atlanta and DeKalb County, I always ask the kids, how many of you guys sit with your parents and you eat dinner as a family? You have a balanced meal. They say no. Oh, wow. They don't. And what that tells me is that, number one, they're not having balanced meals and they're not eating as a family. And that's something that we need to change. We need to get back to that. If we're not going to eat together, at least have a balanced meal.
That's right. Tell us, Lori, the nuts and bolts behind starting a foundation. I mean, how difficult was this? How hard was it to get people on board? Or tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I will tell you.
Getting started. I mean, I know that you're a businesswoman and you have your for-profit business, but this is a nonprofit, and some people may be interested in learning more about starting one.
Well, starting a nonprofit organization, you definitely can do one of two things. You can either be IRS sanctioned and approved or not. So if you obtain your 501c3 status, that means the IRS recognizes you as a legitimate nonprofit organization, and anyone who donates to your organization can get tax deductions.
Okay.
So if you're not a 501c3 nonprofit organization, that means that you are not sanctioned by the IRS.
That's
and
right.
People can't claim any money that they give you on their taxes. So that's the big difference. And if you're trying to get that certification, you have to go through a very lengthy process with the IRS and fill out their paperwork and, of course, pay their fees. And there's so many different consultants who exist out there to help you, but you can also go to places like LegalZoom, which is online, and they will walk you through it as well. And then you can just basically start out writing what it is that you want to achieve as an organization. Who do you want to serve? Again, that's really critical. Who do you want to exist to serve? What do you want your programs to accomplish? And then what's going to be your give back and your value to the community?
That's excellent, Lori. As we get ready to take a break and introduce our next guest on the other side of the break, let's just, before we go to break, tell the people how you want them to reach out to you, or how do you want to close out today, Lori? I sure appreciate you. Valuable information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here. And you can find me at QualityMediaConsultants.com. I am on Twitter at Miss Quality Media, and also on Facebook, Lori Manns, and my company is Quality Media Consultant Group on Facebook. And if you have questions and want to call me directly, it's 404-432-0444. And my nonprofit organization is Live Healthy and Thrive Youth Foundation, and we're at livehealthyandthriveyouth.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lori. Let's give her a hand. Thank you, guys. Keep listening. We'll be right back.
I need just a little more Jesus.
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 To help me along the way.
Hi, this is Dick Morris. Obamacare is taking full effect this year with over 15,000 pages of regulations. You need to know how this law affects you. That's why you should get your copy of Obamacare's Survival Guide. It's easy to read and the best guide to the new law. Even if you're currently insured or a senior on Medicare or a business owner, a medical professional, or really any citizen, you need the Obamacare Survival Guide. In it, you'll find about hidden taxes, fees, and fines, including a 40% tax on some health plans. I warned you about Obamacare. It's rationing, Medicare cuts, and will trigger doctor shortages. Now the Obamacare Survival Guide gives you the simple steps to protect your family. So get the Obamacare Survival Guide at bookstores everywhere. It's already a #1 Amazon bestseller. Or get our special $4.95 offer and save $15 today by going to Obamacare911.com. Obamacare911.com. That's Obamacare911.com. termlife.com.
Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-430-6722. 800-430-6722. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-430-6722. 800-430-6722.
Now it's time to ease your mind, so hear me as I say, life's not always down, you see. Hey. If the sun refuses to shine and all your skies are gray, just sing this simple melody. Yeah. I feel good, I know it. Come on. Don't hate me if you show it. The joy I feel on the inside will show up on the outside. Up, up, come on. You know I'm gonna thank him. The happiness in my life today, it won't be denied. Now I realize.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for listening. I know you enjoyed Lori Manns of Quality Media Consultants. Hang around for the hour, and I'm going to tell you about a great 5K walk run that you can join Lori on a little bit later in the show. Our next guest is an author, speaker, inspirational humorist, and a member of the Christian Comedy Association. She has 2 released DVDs, Who Put the Elephant in My Stocking? And Been There, Got the Wig. She is formerly a TV news on-air reporter in Los Angeles and college professor of broadcasting arts and speech communication. Her name is Jana Flag. Welcome to the airwaves, Jana.
Thank you, Lisa. I love that.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to have you on. Thanks so much for your time today. Now, when we spoke a little earlier this week, you told me your husband had some health issues. Before we dive into yours or your past ones, how is he doing?
He's doing fantastic. The caregiver needs more care, I think. You know, it's easier for the patient because they just follow instructions and rest.
That's right.
But, you know, that are on 24/7 for a while, that's a little bit, harder. He doesn't understand that.
Wow. Well, I wish you the best there, and I'm glad that you are there with him. And I know that God is going to give you the strength and the know-how that you need to continue taking care of him there. Tell us a little bit about your background, Jana, in your battling fear and your cancer story, if you will. I think that's where a lot of what you do kind of evolved out of, if you will. Is that true?
It absolutely evolved. I've been a professional speaker for many years, but what has changed is the purpose and the passion as a result of what I went through, and that is that, like a lot of people, like a lot of women, I was misdiagnosed for over a year. I had cancer and didn't know it, and I was going to good doctors, but they weren't cancer specialists, so they didn't know what to look for. And so when I went into the hospital for a hysterectomy, I expected to wake up that afternoon with one of those little bikini cuts I had heard about, and that's what I requested anyway. Mm-hmm. And instead, I woke up 2 days and nights later, and I was told that they found ovarian cancer, which had spread to stage 3C, and I was cut from the pelvic bone all the way up between my ribs, the length of my body, and had over 80 staples. And I spent 1 month in a rented hospital bed at home before starting 5 months of rigorous chemotherapy, followed by a second major operation.
Oh, my goodness, Jana.
Using the same big cut, and then another month in a rented hospital bed. I was one of their frequent renters. But greater than that physical challenge, Lisa, was dealing with my response to the words cancer, chemotherapy, surgeries. Each one hit me like a sock in the nose.
Those are big words.
They are, and to my dismay, decades of faith were just chipped away, and I was down for the count. So I say my biggest battle was not against cancer, but I found out it was against the fear that overwhelms us, robs us of hope, and threatens to defeat us as we go through life challenges or hardships. And in my case, we're talking about an illness, we're talking about cancer, but it could be divorce or job loss, or it could be changing careers, it could be making a move, or anything.
Any number of things.
Yeah.
In your book, Jana, Fight Fear and Foster Faith, you provide some practical tips to knock out that fear and move forward. Yeah. What are the 3 most important things someone who's facing a hardship, some of those you talked about, can do to fight the fear off in their lives?
Not necessarily in this order, but, to adopt a positive attitude. And I know that sounds, simple for some people who, for them, the glass is...
Well, it's a little harder. It's a little harder to do when you're facing one of those hardships.
Right. But there are specific steps that you can take to hold on to a positive attitude. And then secondly, to program your heart, your spirit for victory and not defeat.
Amen. And say that one again. Program your heart and your spirit for victory and not defeat. That's wonderful.
Right. And then also to look for the humor in the hardship. I know it can be hard, but it's there. And if it's not there, then I talk about different simple things that anyone can do to add whimsy and humor to our lives. It helps us, to be more positive. And when you're positive, you have hope. And without hope, the race is lost without hope.
That's right. It really is. Well, how do you ignore the comments you've already heard, the diagnosis you've received, or the prognosis, what you talked about, some of those things? How do you ignore those comments and those realities?
Well, it is hard because you've already heard it. It's already gone inside your ears.
That's
and you've
right.
Heard it. And and the enemy can use those negative comments like, "Oh, cancer always comes back," or "Gee, you'll never get a job in this economy."
That's right.
And it can, and then those little seeds can be planted in our brain like fiery darts, that plant fear. So the battle, though, can be won in that struggle by not meditating on the negative thought, not repeating it, not chewing on it.
That's right.
And then countering that negative message with a positive statement or thoughts. For example, I know people are trying to say something nice when they say to me, "Oh, you're in remission." And I correct them. I say it out loud. I'm polite, but I say it out loud. "No, I'm not in remission," because that means cancer-free for the time, and it has the connotation that it could come back.
That's right.
And I'm just not going to entertain that thought. So I correct them and say, "No, I'm not in remission. I'm healed." And it's not coming back.
Excellent. So I think you're teaching us something about the role our own words play in fighting the battles of life, or fighting fear as it is.
Absolutely. The tongue has the power of life and death.
That's
and
right.
Those who say that they can raise above their circumstances, and those who say they can't, "Oh, I'll never get a job, poor me," guess what? They're both right. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
And words are like containers or vessels, and they can convey fear or faith. And I've learned that fear is the opposite of faith. When I'm walking in fear, I am not operating in faith.
That's right.
But when I'm stepping out and my faith is strong, then fear doesn't have a place.
Now,
so it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
Exactly, and that's so true. Let's talk about those two things just a little bit deeper. You talked about the words we speak, and you talked about faith. I think that they have to go hand in hand because, for example, even when we pray, if they're just words we're speaking and we don't really have that faith, we don't really believe what we're saying, I don't know how much weight that prayer has. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right, Lisa, that if we have it in our head and just repeat God's promises, but if we don't really, really, really believe it in our heart, and I think a lot of times, as it was in my life, until you're really facing the toughest time of your life, do you really find out what do you really believe? And part of that is hanging out with other people that have the same vision that you do, because hope is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
So you hang out with people that are believing for the same outcome that you are, and then that helps. That helps to maintain that attitude, of hope.
That's great. Now, why, Jana, did you decide to use humor and laughter to fight fear, to fight this very serious time in your life? Why is that important?
Humor can be a powerful weapon against fear, because it can diffuse or lessen our fear by redirecting our focus onto something more lighthearted. Laughter lifts our spirit, and when we laugh, we feel better.
Yes.
When we feel better, it's easier to have hope and to see that light at the end of the tunnel. When you're down and depressed and so sad, you don't even believe there's a light at the end of the tunnel, let alone see it. So one of the things that I do is that I made sure that I didn't watch the news. I didn't watch even drama. I just watched comedies, like the old Seinfeld TV shows that my family enjoys. And we just made sure that we watched some comedy every night, and that we giggled and laughed every night. And so, it was really important to reinforce that.
That's wonderful. Give me an example of how you found humor in your hardship, Jana.
Well, sometimes I don't mean to sound so simplistic about it, because someone might say, "Oh, what I'm going through is so terrible." I tell you, girl, there's nothing funny about it.
That's right.
Well, yeah, and
that's why I want an example.
Yeah, and I don't mean at all to simplify somebody's pain of what they're going through. It can be hard to find humor in the hardship, but on the other hand, sometimes it just walks right up to you. For example, a lady came up to me in church and she apologized. She said, "I'm sorry, I didn't get to know you." Well, I'm still alive, standing in front of her, and I'm touching my face like, "Is this it? Am I gone? I'm still here." Well, then she turned and walked away, and she missed her second chance to get to know me. Well, I'm sure she had no idea. It was funny. It was kind of weird at the time, but since then, I think that's funny.
Yes, that is funny.
Or when I checked into the hospital, I'd never been a patient, so I was scared to death, bent over, anemic from months, and and I was in pain, and I was being prepped for major surgery. And the nurse asked me what I was in for, and I told her, "Well, I'm in for a total hysterectomy." And I thought, well, she's a professional; she'll use her bedside manner and make me feel better. She's another woman, and all of that. Instead, she winced and she said, "Oh, that's the worst operation you could have." Well, yeah, see, is that funny? Well,
Did she say that?
Yeah, she said it, and she was, and at first I thought she was kidding, a little bit of hospital humor.
That's right.
But then she kept it up. Oh, she said, "You're going to have pain. It's the most painful thing." And she just went on and on. Then I realized she wasn't kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I got mad because, I was very vulnerable at that point. And I just said, "Look, I need to hear just positive things right now."
That's right.
And you're bringing me down, lady. And so I asked her to leave, but... And I'm sure she was just oblivious to what she was doing, but I'm thinking, this gal is in the wrong field.
Exactly. Jana, Sheldon, my wonderful engineer, is pushing me to break. I want you to stay with us because I want you to tell the people what it's really like to live without fear, and I want you to tell them more about how they can get their hands on your information and hear some of your public speaking. So stay with us, and we'll be right back after the break. Thanks for listening, guys.
It's not over. When God is in it, there is no limit. New breed.
It's not over. It's not finished. It's not ending.
It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. When God is in it,
all things are new.
All things are new.
All things are new. Brought some friends along to just encourage you a little further. James Fortune.
This is for someone right now.
I know it's darkness.
Yes.
just before dawn.
It's not easy right now.
This might be the hardest season you experience.
Do you need someone with solid, expert communications experience to write your copy or your next press release? Then you need PennStar Communications. Let PennStar communicate your greatest potential with clear copy written for your business and marketing needs. Whether it's your next event or next campaign, PennStar Communications can write that for you. Visit pennstar.org or call 404-828-0287 today.
This country was built on big ideas, dreams, and freedom. The freedom of speech, the right to listen to free radio wherever you go. And with iHeartRadio, you can exercise this freedom. The freedom to listen to this radio station on your smartphone. The freedom of making your own custom radio stations on your tablet. The freedom of listening on your computer, anytime, anywhere, for free. 1,500 live stations, plus custom stations you create all in one. Go to iHeartRadio.com or download the free app for your mobile phone or tablet.
You loved me through my good. You loved me through my bad. You loved me through my good. And you loved me through my bad. Jesus, you didn't erase my future.
We are back. Thank you for staying to listen to Jana Flag. Jana, you have been a wonderful guest today. You have to tell us what your life is like, really living without fear, Jana. What does that feel like?
It's freedom, because fear, keeps us in a place that doesn't feel good. It makes us miserable.
That's
it holds
right.
us back from what God wants to do in our lives. And without fear, I can step out of my comfort zone. I can move ahead, and I can fight fear and fight back by giving back.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things, what I do with my speaking engagements and my book, my DVD, is that I reach out to other people that are going through similar circumstances, that experience fear, and walk with them, because I've been there a couple steps ahead of them.
Yes.
And I didn't have anyone to walk with me,
Mm-hmm.
and it would have been so much easier and so much more fun too. So that's what I've been able to do with it, and I'm free to be more spontaneous, to volunteer, and certain personalities can live in the moment, and that's not my personality. My personality is tomorrow. I'm already thinking what I'm doing after dinner tonight.
Good for you.
And so for me to be able now to be better at living in the moment is a real gift. And really, I realize all any of us really have is today.
Amen.
So whether I have 2 years left, they gave me 2 years to live, and that was 7 years ago.
Amen. Wow.
So to God be the glory.
Yes.
I'm still here, and I'm just going hard and fast to get out and speak at women's conferences and conventions and retreats. And
good for you.
Because when a bunch of women get together, we have fun.
We have fun.
But we have fun.
Where can people find out more about you and your book and where you're speaking next?
Well, and the best thing is my website, Jana, Jana, Flag, F like Frank, Laig, janaflag.com. And the book is available at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, the UK, India, and the trunk of my car.
That's good. A lot of successful people started selling things out of the trunk of their car. Thank you so much for your time today, Jana. Anything else before we close?
No, but I sure appreciate that you and I can take this time together and reach out to other gals and just encourage them to, to be a game changer.
That's right.
Do it. Whatever, don't let fear hold them back.
Exactly.
Do it.
Thank you, Jana. I hope you have a wonderful evening and eat something good for me.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And we are getting ready to close, guys. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Lori Mans was here from the Quality Media Consultant Group, and she is having a Unite for Healthy Kids 5K walk and run on Saturday, May 17th, and it begins at 9 a.m. She gave you all of the great information where you may find out about her and her foundation and her business. But for more information on the walk, you can visit livehealthyandthriveyouth.org. That's livehealthyandthriveyouth.org. The Motivational Minute today is about there's good news and there's bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. This life we live, it's not about us. The mere thought of that, when it first occurred to my psyche, when I first got it, I thought, well, who is it about then? I didn't learn instantly, but let me tell you how I learned. I learned one day while on a production shoot downtown and approached by a homeless man for money that I could offer him prayer instead, and he would accept it as we bowed right near the production van to pray. I learned one night when walking into a Bible class to pay my tuition for another class and overheard a Christian sister saying she and her son had no place to live. I could offer them my home and they would accept for however temporary and meager that experience was. I learned while looking in the eyes of my dear nephew when he was just a boy, around 8 years old, and I repeatedly tried to convince him to purchase a black doll, one that looked like us, for his sister's birthday gift. I learned, however slight, something about my own prejudices in that moment as he looked up at me and asked with his wide-eyed innocence, "What difference does it make?" These experiences and more taught me the whole opportunity here on earth to make a difference is not about me. So that's kind of the bad news. It's not about us. But God wants his glory in every situation and in every corner of our lives. He wants it all today, people. And in return, we will receive our just rewards. They may not come as we want them to. They will, however, come in the form of security and peace in knowing we have done what God wants us to do. And that is the good news. That's it for today, Game Changers. Thank you so much for listening. Please tune in again next week. Follow me on social media. I am at Lisa at Penstar Lisa on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter, and Instagram. Getting a little tongue-tied at the end. We'll talk to you next week. I'll talk to you in 6/23. That's 6 days and 23 hours. Let's go, Game Changers.
Thank you for listening to Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner. For more details about anything discussed on the program, go online to www.penstar.org. That's PENSTAR.org. And be sure to follow Lisa on social media. On Facebook, look for Lisa M. Faulkner and follow Penstar Lisa on Twitter and Instagram. And join us every week at this same time for Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner right here on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's Inspirational Talk Radio.